Good morning students. In this lecture 10th of quantum mechanics, we will discuss spin orbit coupling, which is also known as spin orbit interaction. So what is this spin orbit interaction? It is the interaction between spin angular momentum of electron with its orbital angular momentum. And because of this spin orbit interaction, it results in the fine structure of hydrogen atom. So what is this? Actually, this is the interaction between the spin magnetic dipole moment of electron and the internal magnetic field of an atom. So that is why in the vector model of an atom, we have discussed that there is interaction between capital L vector and capital S vector magnetically. And what is that magnetic interaction? It is actually the interaction between spin magnetic dipole moment of electron and the internal magnetic field of an atom. But why we have said that this is the interaction between spin and orbit? Because this internal magnetic field of an atom, it results from the orbital motion of electron around the nucleus. So indirectly, this is the interaction between spin angular momenta and orbital angular momenta of electron. So that is why it is known as spin orbit interaction. And this spin orbit interaction in case of hydrogen atom, it is a quite weak interaction. This interaction between L vector and S vector magnetically, it is quite weak, but still it is partly responsible for the fine structure. What is fine structure? It is the doubling of the spectral lines of excited state of hydrogen atom. So this relatively weak interaction, it is partly responsible for the fine structure of the excited states of hydrogen atom. So what we have taken here suppose we have a nucleus carrying charge plus Ze and an electron, it is revolving around the nucleus in a circular orbit of radius r with velocity v vector. This is the observation from the coordinate system or a frame of reference which is attached to the nucleus. If the observer or the frame of reference, it is attached to this nucleus, then for any observer which is standing here, what that observer will observe? For that observer, nucleus seems to be at rest and electron, it will revolve around this nucleus with velocity v in a circular orbit of radius r. But what will happen, or what will be the view to the observer or to the frame of reference which is attached to the electron? Suppose बच्चे तुसी बस विच हो, जदों तुसी खुद बस विच हो, इट मीनस अगर तुसी उस फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरेंस या कोऑर्डिनेट सिस्टम तो देखो जिहड़ा तुहाडी बस दे नाल अटैच है, तो तुहानू की दिखेगा कि जो ट्रीज ने वो ऑपोजिट डायरैक्शन च मूव कर रहे हैं। खुद तुहानू लगेगा कि खुद तुसी रस्ते हो ते जो ट्रीज ने उन्हां वो ऑपोजिट डायरैक्शन च मूव कर रहे हैं। तो सेम जो है वो इत्थे लगेगा दैट अगर जो इलैक्ट्रॉन है, अगर तुसी कोऑर्डिनेट सिस्टम या फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरेंस जो है उन्होंने तुसी सपोज करते हो कि किहदे नाल अटैच है, इलैक्ट्रॉन दे नाल, ते जो ऑब्जर्वर है हुण वो किहड़े फ्रेम दे विच है, किहड़े कोऑर्डिनेट सिस्टम दे विच है, जिहड़ा इलैक्ट्रॉन दे नाल अटैच्ड है, तो उन्होंने की लगेगा एक्चुअल तो इलैक्ट्रॉन मूव कर रहा सी, बट जिहड़ा ऑब्जर्वर है जिहड़ा इलैक्ट्रॉन वाले कोऑर्डिनेट सिस्टम दे विच है या फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरेंस दे विच है, उन्होंने इदां लगेगा कि न्यूक्लियस ऑपोजिट डायरैक्शन च मूव कर रहा। तो इसलिए एक्चुअल की है कि जो जिहड़ा ऑब्जर्वर न्यूक्लियस दे उपर है इस फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरेंस च, उन्होंने की शो हो रहा कि इलैक्ट्रॉन एक्चुअली वी वेलोसिटी नाल एंटी क्लॉकवाइज डायरैक्शन दे विच रिवॉल्व कर रहा अराउंड द न्यूक्लियस। बट जिहड़ा ऑब्जर्वर इलैक्ट्रॉन के फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरेंस ते है तो लगेगा कि जो न्यूक्लियस है वो इलैक्ट्रॉन तो ऑपोजिट डायरैक्शन च मूव कर रहे हैं। इसलिए देखो असी जो न्यूक्लियस है उसकी डायरेक्शन की ਲਈ है ऑपोजिट टू दैट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन. सो फॉर द ऑब्जर्वर और फ्रॉम द frame of reference which is attached to the electron, it will seem that, it will look like that this nucleus, it is revolving around the nucleus in a circular orbit of radius r with velocity minus v vector in a opposite direction. Why? Because motion is relative. And here this electron, it is assumed to be at rest. So here the electron, we have assumed that from the frame of reference which is attached to the electron, electron is at rest and nucleus is revolving around electron with velocity minus v vector and orbit of radius r. And here this revolving nucleus, as it carries charge, so it will act as a current element and it will produce magnetic field. According to Biot-Swartz law, what is the expression of the magnetic field produced by the current element? So the strength of the magnetic field produced by the current element carrying charge plus Ze, according to Biot-Swartz law, we know that B vector, it is equal to mu naught by 4 pi IDL, it is the current element, cross R, where R is the radius of the circular orbit, divided by R cube. This is the expression of Biot-Swartz law. Now what will be the direction of magnetic field? The direction of this magnetic field, it is into the plane of the paper. How? Apply Fleming's right hand rule. So we will apply Fleming's right hand rule to find the direction of the magnetic field. So according to Fleming's right hand rule, we know that this middle finger, it represents the direction of the direction in which the current is flowing or the direction in which the current element is moving. And this thumb, it represents the direction of the force, and this forefinger, it represents the direction of the magnetic field. So here we know that there will be some force between this charged nucleus, positively charged nucleus, and electron. So it means, and the force, it will act in this direction. So this is the direction of the force, and this, it represents the current element, and current element, it is moving in this direction. So this is the direction of the force between positively charged nucleus and electron, and this middle finger, it represents the direction of current. Then this forefinger, it will represent the direction of the magnetic field. So you can see it is in the direction of magnetic field is into the plane of the paper. So from Fleming's right hand rule, we can find the direction of magnetic field which is into the plane of the paper. So here, this IDL, we know that current, it is the rate of change of charge. So this I, we can write this as dq by dt into dl vector. And you can rearrange this, that dq dl by dt. And what is this rate of change of distance? It is velocity. And here the nucleus is moving with velocity minus v vector. So this dl by dt, it is equal to minus v vector here. And what is the charge over the nucleus? It is Ze. So we can replace this IDL in equation number 1 with this factor minus Ze v vector. So put this value in equation number 1 and we will get that our magnetic field due to current element, it is equal to mu naught by 4 pi minus this Ze v cross r divided by r cube. Now one more thing, you have studied in waves, vibrations and electromagnetic theory that we know that c, it is equal to, c is the speed of light, it is equal to 1 by root mu naught epsilon naught, where mu naught is the absolute permeability and epsilon naught is the absolute permittivity. So c square will be 1 by mu naught epsilon naught. Find the value of mu naught from this equation, and mu naught will be 1 by c square into epsilon naught. And put this value of mu naught in this equation, and we will get our B vector, magnetic field due to current element. It will become minus 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught c square ze upon r cube v cross r vector. And now we know that there is interaction between s vector and l vector here in case of spin orbit interaction. L vector is orbital angular momentum vector, and we know that capital L vector, it is equal to r cross p. And what is p? It is linear momentum, and linear momentum p, it is equal to m into v. So here we have v. What we will do, we will introduce m here by multiplying and dividing right hand side by m. So multiply and divide this right hand side by m, you will get this mc square r cube ze, and here we will have mv cross r. So this mv, it is equal to p vector. So you have minus p cross r here, and we know that minus p cross r, it is equal to r cross p. So this minus p cross r, it will be r cross p, because cross product is not commutative in nature, and this r cross p, it is equal to angular momentum vector L vector. So this equation, it will become V vector, it is equal to ze upon 4 pi epsilon naught m c square r cube. This minus p cross r, it is equal to r cross p, which is equal to L. So L vector. And suppose this is our equation number 2, where this L vector, it is the angular momentum, orbital angular momentum of electron. Now, what was the definition of this spin orbit interaction? That it is the interaction between the spin magnetic dipole moment of electron and the internal magnetic field. So because of the interaction between the magnetic field and the spin magnetic dipole moment of electron, there will be interaction energy, and that interaction energy is known as spin orbit interaction energy. So spin orbit interaction energy, due to the interaction between spin magnetic dipole moment vector and magnetic field vector, it is given by this, and it is equal to the dot product of negative of the dot product of these two quantities. Now, what is the value of this mu s vector? We have already derived the value of spin magnetic dipole moment of electron. It is minus 2 e by 2m into s vector dot. What is the value of b vector from equation 2? It is ze L vector upon 4 pi epsilon naught mc square r cube. And here multiply and divide by h cut, and we know that this e h cut by 2m, this factor, it is known as Bohr magnetone mu b, and this minus and minus will be plus. So we have spin orbit interaction energy delta E dash ls, it is equal to 2, this 2 is spin g factor, which is equal to 2, gs is equal to 2 here. So 2 mu b s vector upon h cut, and its dot product with ZE L vector upon 4 pi epsilon naught MC square R cube. So we have this 2 mu b ZE upon 4 pi epsilon naught M h cut C square R cube into S vector dot product with L vector. So this change in energy, it takes place because of the interaction between S vector and L vector, magnetic interaction between S vector and L vector. So 2, what is the value of mu b? It is E h cut by 2m. So 2, 4 pi epsilon naught 2m. This 2 and 2 will be cancelled out. M h cut C square R cube ZE S vector dot product with L vector. So here we have delta E dash LS, it is equal to this h cut and h cut will be cancelled out. So we have ZE square upon 4 pi epsilon naught M square C square R cube S dot L. And now this expression of energy, it is determined in that frame of reference in which nucleus is moving, revolving around the electron, and electron is at rest. And now we will transform this expression of energy to that frame of reference in which the electron is revolving. So when we will transform this expression from this frame of reference to that frame of reference in which the electron is actually revolving, so it will introduce a factor of 2 in the denominator. Why? Because in that case here the electron is at rest, so we have taken the rest mass of electron m. But in that case the electron, it is moving at some relativistic velocity. It is orbiting around the nucleus with some relativistic velocity. And in that case, the mass of electron, it will be given by m is equal to m naught upon root 1 minus v square by c square. And if suppose that the velocity of electron v, if it is equal to c by root 2, that if it is equal to 71% of the speed of light, then in that case this m, it comes out to be approximately equal to root 2 m naught. And in this frame of reference here we have taken, because electron is at rest mass of electron, which is m naught. But when we will transform this equation of energy to the expression to the frame of reference where the electron is actually revolving around the nucleus, means we will take the relativistic mass of electron using this relativistic mass formula. So m, relativistic mass of electron due to its motion, it comes out to be root 2 m naught. And here in the denominator we have factor m square. So m square means it will be equal to 2 m naught square. So that is why in that frame of reference this interaction energy, it will reduced to half. So interaction energy in a frame of reference, interaction energy in a frame of reference which is attached to nucleus. In that frame, electron is actually revolving. So therefore, the interaction energy in that frame will be given by delta ELS, and it will be half of the interaction energy in the frame which is attached to the electron. Because in this frame, we have taken the rest mass of electron because electron is assumed to be at rest, but in this frame electron is moving, it is orbiting around the nucleus, so that is why we are taking its relativistic mass. So we have, because of m square, we have factored 2m0 square in the denominator, which will reduce the value of this interaction energy in the frame of motion of electron by half. So it will be equal to Ze square upon 8 pi epsilon naught mc square r cube s dot l. So now we have to find the value of this s dot l. Suppose this is equation A. We know that because of the orbital motion of electron and because of the spin motion of electron, it gives rise to the total angular momentum J vector, which is the vector sum of L vector and S vector. And to find the value of S dot L, find the dot product of J with J. It will be dot product of L plus S vector with L plus S vector. So find the dot product. J dot J will be J square. It is equal to L square plus S square plus 2S dot L. So what will be the value of S dot L? It will be J square minus L square minus S square into 1 by 2. So put the values. S dot L, it is equal to 1 by 2. J square will be J plus 1. Root will be cancelled out with the square. H cut square minus L plus 1. H cut square minus S plus 1 H cut square. So this H cut square, take it common and you will get the value of dot product of S vector with L vector, and it is equal to H cut square by 2 JJ plus 1 minus LL plus 1 minus SS plus 1. So now put this value in this equation A and you will get the expression for energy due to spin orbit interaction or change in energy due to spin orbit interaction, and it is equal to Ze square upon 8 pi epsilon naught mc square r cube, this H cut square by 2, this 2 into this 8, it will become 16. So here we will have JJ plus 1 minus LL plus 1 minus SS plus 1. So this is the change in energy of the energy level because of the interaction between spin angular momentum and orbital angular momentum of electron magnetically. Initially, if the electron, it is present in the nth energy state, and suppose En is the energy of that energy state in which the electron is present when there is no spin orbit interaction. But because of spin orbit interaction, the energy of En of this energy level, it will be changed by this factor. So this spin orbit coupling, it redefines the energy of the energy levels, because there will be change in the energy of the energy level when there was no spin orbit coupling and when there is introduction of spin orbit coupling. So with the spin orbit coupling, the energy levels, their energy is modified. So this is all about spin orbit interaction.